Natasha's pulse hammered in her ears the second she stepped out of the hotel elevator at 2:17 a.m. The corridor smelled of chlorine and cheap air freshener. She told herself she was just going for a walk. Just to breathe. Just to feel something other than the suffocating boredom of another vacation where Sergei answered work emails at dinner and fell asleep with his phone on his chest. She didn't plan it. That's what she kept repeating in her head as she slipped past the night porter, past the empty lobby, past the row of plastic keycards on the counter. The lie tasted sweet. She needed it. The beach was almost deserted. Only the thump of bass from the Arcadia clubs reached this far, muffled by distance and sand. She kicked off her sandals, felt the cool grains between her toes, and let the blue cotton tunic ride higher on her thighs. 33 years old, still turning heads, still able to make a stranger's eyes linger. Sergei hadn't looked at her like that in months. His name was Dennis. She met him an hour earlier at the beach bar. Tall, tanned, late 20s, cocky grin, cheap cologne. He bought her a vodka cranberry she didn't finish. He said he was a DJ from Kiev, in town for one night only. He said a lot of things. She laughed too loud. Now his hands were on her waist, pulling her against him near the waterline. Salt air, cigarette smoke on his breath, the scrape of his stubble against her neck. Her phone buzzed in her pocket. Sergei, probably, but she silenced it without looking. Another lie forming. I was asleep. Battery died. Dennis kissed her hard, fingers sliding under the tunic. She kissed back. For the first time in forever, someone wanted her without checking the time or mentioning quarterly reports. She hated how good it felt. That's when she heard the footsteps. Fast, heavy, running. Sergei's voice cut through the music like a blade. What the hell is this? She jerked away so fast she stumbled, sand scraping her knees. Dennis spun around, shirt half unbuttoned, hands up like he'd been caught stealing. Sergei was 10 feet away and closing. His face, God, his face, was something she'd never seen before. Eyes wide, jaw clenched, fists already balled. The moonlight turned the blood on his knuckles black. Get your hands off my wife. Dennis laughed, nervous. Hey man, relax. Sergei didn't relax. He grabbed Dennis by the shoulder and yanked him backward so hard the younger man's feet left the ground for a second. Natasha screamed Sergei's name, but the sound drowned in the crash of waves. Dennis swung first. A wild punch that clipped Sergei's cheekbone. Bad mistake. Sergei roared and drove his fist into Dennis's face. Once, twice. The third blow sent Dennis sprawling into the wet sand, coughing blood. Natasha lunged, grabbing Sergei's arm. Stop it! You're going to kill him! Maybe I should. Dennis scrambled up, clutching his jaw, and bolted toward the lights of the promenade. Sergei started after him, chest heaving, but Natasha threw herself in front of him, both hands on his chest. Sergei, please stop. He shoved her aside, harder than he meant to. She fell, palms stinging, sand in her mouth. When she looked up, his eyes were dead. Who is he? His voice was low, dangerous. I don't know. Just some guy from the bar. You don't know. He repeated it slowly, tasting every word. You don't know the man you were letting grope you 20 feet from where our son is sleeping. Sergei, shut up. He stepped closer, towering over her. You think I'm stupid? You think I haven't noticed you flirting all week? The tight dresses, the extra drinks, the way you disappear every night? I was bored. The words burst out before she could stop them. You're always working. You dragged us here and then ignored us. So this is my fault? His laugh was bitter, broken. I paid for this trip. I pay for everything. And you repay me by spreading your legs for the first guy who tells you you're pretty? Her slap came fast, cracking across his swollen cheek. He didn't flinch. Touch me again, he said quietly, and I will forget you're the mother of my child. Fear hit her then. Real fear. She'd never seen him like this. Not once in 10 years. He turned and walked away, barefoot, leaving footprints that filled with water and vanished. She stayed on the sand until the moon moved and the cold seeped into her bones. When she finally stood, her legs shook so badly she almost fell again. The hotel keycard was still in her pocket. Her wedding ring felt suddenly heavy, like a handcuff. Back in the room she shared with Sergei, the bed was empty. His laptop sat open on the desk, screen dark. She checked her phone. 6 missed calls, 2 texts. "Where are you?" "Natasha, answer me." She typed, "I'm fine," and deleted it. Typed, "We need to talk," and deleted that too. In the end, she sent nothing. She showered until the water ran cold, scrubbing her skin raw, trying to wash off Dennis's cologne, Sergei's words, the taste of her own excuses. When she stepped out, the mirror showed a stranger. Red eyes, bruised lips, sand still ground into her hairline. At 4:03 a.m. she heard voices in the hallway. Her parents' door opened. Sergei's voice, low and furious. Her mother's sharp intake of breath. Her father swearing under his breath. She pressed her ear to the wall. "Caught her on the beach with some guy. Hands all over her. I beat the shit out of him." Silence. Then her mother. "Oh my God." Natasha's stomach dropped. He told them. He actually told them. She slid down the wall, knees to chest, and waited for the knock that would end everything. It never came. Instead, the light under the connecting door stayed on until dawn. When the sun rose, Sergei was gone from the in-laws' room. She found him in the lobby, checking out. He didn't look at her when she approached. "We're leaving in an hour," he said to the concierge. 4 people, 1 child. Separate cars if needed. Natasha grabbed his arm. "Sergei, can we talk?" "Please?" He pulled free without touching her. "There's nothing left to say. You made your choice on that beach." Their 8-year-old son Dima appeared then, rubbing sleep from his eyes, clutching his stuffed shark. "Mommy? Why is everyone yelling?" Natasha forced a smile that felt like glass. "We're just going home early, baby." Sergei knelt, hugged Dima tight, whispered something she couldn't hear. When he stood, his eyes met hers for the first time since the beach. Cold, empty, final. "Pack your things," he said. "You're going to your parents' house. I don't want you in my apartment ever again." He walked away. The automatic doors slid open, morning light flooding in, and Natasha realized with sickening clarity that the life she'd known for a decade had ended in the space of one night. As the family loaded into 2 separate taxis, Sergei in one, her parents and Dima in the other, she caught her reflection in the window. The woman staring back looked terrified. And somewhere in the back of her mind, a new voice whispered, "He thinks he's the victim. We'll see about that." The taxi pulled away. Natasha watched the hotel shrink in the rearview mirror and made the first of many calculations. This wasn't over. Not by a long shot. Sergei pushed through the glass doors of the law office at exactly 11:58 a.m., the downtown traffic still roaring behind him. The receptionist recognized him now. No more polite smiles, just a quick nod toward the conference room. Inside, Nikolai Samoilov was already waiting, sleeves rolled up, 3 empty coffee cups on the table. A thick folder sat open like a loaded weapon. "Close the door," Nikolai said without looking up. "We're not leaving until we've buried her." Sergei dropped into the leather chair. His knuckles were still scabbed from the beach. He hadn't slept more than 3 hours a night since they got back. Every time he closed his eyes, he saw Natasha's hand sliding across that guy's chest. "Let's go through it again," Nikolai said, sliding a legal pad across the table. "Apartment? My parents' name's on the deed. Wedding gift, not joint property. She can scream all she wants. Judge can't touch it. Car? Registered to me. Loan in my name. She can't even parallel park without hitting the curb. She won't fight for it. Bank accounts? Emptied the joint one the day we got back. Transferred everything to my personal and my dad's account. She's got whatever's left in her purse." Nikolai tapped the pen against his teeth. "Good. Money moves fast in these wars. You did right." Sergei leaned forward. "She's going to play victim. Tell the judge I ignored her, that I worked too much, that I pushed her into it." "Let her!" Nikolai's voice was ice. "We'll remind the court exactly whose hands were on a stranger at 2 a.m. while her son slept 20 minutes away." Sergei's jaw flexed. "She'll claim I shoved her on the beach. Say I bruised her." Nikolai finally looked up. "Did you?" I pushed her off me when she tried to stop me from going after him. She fell. That's it. No medical report. No police call that night. If she brings it up now, it looks like a desperate lie. Exactly. Nikolai scribbled something. We'll fix the photos of your face from that night. Time-stamped. Hospital record if we need it. You were the one bleeding, not her. Sergei stared at the table. I just want her to have nothing. Not one extra dollar? She thinks she can humiliate me and walk away with half my life? No. Nikolai closed the folder. Then we don't give her the chance. File tomorrow. No reconciliation period. We push for fastest court date possible. And Sergei, he locked eyes. From now on, you don't answer her calls. Don't reply to texts. Don't even read them. Everything goes through me. One wrong word and she'll twist it. Sergei nodded. Understood? He stood to leave. His phone buzzed in his pocket. Unknown number. He almost ignored it, then swiped anyway. A single voice message. Natasha. He shouldn't have played it. But he did. Her voice was low, shaky, venomous. You think you're smart, emptying the accounts? You think you can just throw me out like trash? I raised your son while you chased promotions. I have messages, screenshots, photos. You ignored me for years. The judge is going to love hearing how you made me feel invisible. Keep pushing, Sergei. I'll burn everything down. Dima will know exactly what kind of father abandons his family. The message ended. Sergei's hand shook as he deleted it. He forwarded the file to Nikolai without a word. Across town, in her childhood bedroom that still smelled like teenage perfume and dust, Natasha sat cross-legged on the pink comforter, phone clutched to her chest. Olga's voice still echoed from the speaker 10 minutes earlier. You actually cheated? Nat, what were you thinking? She hadn't been thinking. That was the point. Now her mother knocked on the door every hour with tea she didn't want. Her father wouldn't look at her. Dima kept asking why Daddy wasn't coming home. She opened her laptop, searched Best Divorce Lawyer for Women, found Marina Sergeyevna Ilyanskaya, read the reviews. Ruthless, expensive, wins. Perfect. She called. I need someone who fights dirty, she said the second Ilyanskaya picked up. How dirty? The lawyer asked, voice like steel. Dirty enough that he regrets ever touching those accounts? 3 weeks later, the negotiation room smelled like burnt coffee and rage. Sergei sat on one side with Nikolai, Natasha on the other with Ilyanskaya. Tall, black suit, glasses that could cut glass. Ilyanskaya didn't waste time. Child lives with mother. Obvious. Alimony for the child. 150,000 rubles monthly. Fixed sum. Plus full medical, education, extracurriculars. My client has grown accustomed to a certain lifestyle for the boy. Sergei's eyebrows shot up. That was triple the legal rate. Nikolai didn't blink. Standard is 25% of income. We'll pay exactly that. Not a kopeck more. Ilyanskaya continued. The apartment? Yes, it's in the father-in-law's name. But my client lived there 10 years. Raised a child. Invested labor and money into renovations. We're requesting right of residence until the boy turns 18, or full market value compensation for alternative housing. Sergei leaned forward. That apartment is not joint property. It's a gift. She has no legal claim. Nikolai placed a hand on his arm. Demand is baseless. Denied. Natasha finally spoke, voice sharp. Oh, it's denied? You can't wait to throw your son out on the street too? Because that's what this is. You're punishing Dima to get to me. Sergei's voice was low. Don't you dare bring him into your mouth. Ilyanskaya raised a hand. Additionally, compensation for 10 years of unpaid domestic labor. My client sacrificed career opportunities to raise the child while Mr. High Flyer built his empire. We're asking 8 million rubles. Lump sum. Sergei laughed, short, ugly. Pay her for cheating? Is that how this works now? Natasha stood so fast her chair rolled back and hit the wall. You ignored me for years. I begged you to look at me. You were never home. I was paying for everything you spent, Sergei shouted back. The vacations, the clothes, the private kindergarten. Stop, Nikolai snapped. This meeting is over. See you in court. Ilyanskaya gathered her papers. We look forward to it. Natasha leaned across the table, voice barely above a whisper but every word a blade. You want war, Sergei? You'll get it. I know things. About your late nights, your business trips, your secretary who texts you heart emojis at 1 a.m. I've been saving screenshots for years. Keep pushing. I'll drag you through hell. Sergei's face went white. She smiled, small, cold, lethal, and walked out. That night, Sergei sat in his empty apartment, glass of vodka untouched. His phone lit up again. This time a photo. Him. Last year. Company party. Arm around his assistant Lena. Nothing explicit, but cropped just right. It looked bad. Really bad. Caption from Natasha. Wonder how the judge will like this one. He called Nikolai at 2:14 a.m. She's bluffing, Nikolai said, but his voice wavered. She's not, Sergei answered. She's just getting started.